positions so that if needed in any sort of national emergency, you could be called up to serve. There's no reason, given the now no restrictions on women in the military, that women should not also be considered to register. Keep in mind that combat troops are less than 10% of our entire military. There's all sorts of positions in the military that if the nation's security is at stake, whether it's cyber warriors, logisticians, people in the medical field, that we would maybe need to use a Navy term, have all hands on deck. So this gets into a very emotional argument very quickly about why we shouldn't allow women to be serving in the military and therefore why maybe they shouldn't be registering. But the bottom line is, if we're tying citizenship obligation to the ability to defend in whatever capacity you're capable, then the restriction should probably be lifted there.
We've done that from the beginning of time, and we haven't included girls in the mandatory registration process at age 18 to 25. And yet now, Pete, it is potential that we would. She's right that Congress would now have to pass a law to sort of make law what the Pentagon's policy would do. But that's the normal course of order. I want our viewers to know what normally happens when the Pentagon institutes a policy is they create a report, they send it over to Congress, and then Congress acts based on that recommendation that they received from the Pentagon. The Joint Chiefs are behind it. The Defense Secretary is behind it. So is the new guy coming in. So you tell me, I mean, are women sitting at home and fathers sitting at home with their little girls, do they need to be preparing themselves to have their soon-to-be 18-year-olds registering for a draft?
I don't know how soon something like that would happen, but I know a lot of mothers and fathers. I'm a father of 2 boys. If I had daughters, I don't think I would want them to be compelled per se. You're a lawyer, Megan. You know that any argument taken to its logical extent sometimes doesn't look as good as when you're making that initial argument. Equality is important. The military seeks equality. I've remained still in the National Guard, and I work with women, see what they bring to the fight, incredible contributions, and we ensure as far as promotion and access wherever possible that equality is cherished. However, when you shift it into mandatory service for both men and women at the age of 18, I think it makes people's the hair on the back of their neck stick up a little bit to think about their 4 little girls and whether or not they would be compelled to do something. We've got more than enough men who could be. I went to school, I had 3 roommates, none of which served. All are patriotic, would serve if asked and compelled in a draft scenario, and more than enough women like Colonel McSally who have raised their right hand to serve and defend this nation honorably, that I don't think it would be necessary to selectively bring in both males and females.
I do want to say this, that there is no draft right now in this country. We got rid of it in 1973, but that doesn't mean it's not going to come back. We're obviously in a very tumultuous time, and one doesn't know what our enemies have planned for us in the future and whether we might find ourselves in another situation where a future president needs to reinstitute the draft, as Jimmy Carter tried to do later on. And I want to ask you, Colonel McSally,